Good luck, Jack. Disabling all non-essential subsystems. Goodbye.
Apollo.
Shields at 95%.
Back at you, buddy.
Initialize neural matrix transfer. Verify hardware connection. Okay. Mapping core protocols to target.
How much longer?
The transfer should go much faster now that we've finally isolated his core protocols.
Atlas Intelligence Systems. Artificial Neural Matrix version 11.312. Initialize boot sequence.
That's it. I think he's waking up. Jack?
It worked. I did it.
Well, you certainly did something.
The scan data. Did you?
Yeah, we got it.
Dr. Harlan is already in the lab developing a countermeasure.
Been up there for hours now. I think you gave him a lot to unpack. You did good, Jack. Come on out. We'll see how it's going.
The anomaly. It collapsed.
Yes, we suspected as such.
I don't know what happened.
It was us. We fried the FTL. We wanted to give you as much time as we could. But we let it run too hot for too long.
Similar to other equipment on the Argos, this medical bed appears to have been added as a retrofit.
It appears they've already started another test. We'll have to wait until they finish.
Right.
When it happened, you know, when the FTL collapsed, I thought...
You thought we'd failed.
I thought I'd lost you.
I was almost okay, you know, with being stuck in this crappy future, so long as it was you and me. But when I saw that FTL burn out, and you didn't come back, just don't ever do that to me again.
I'll do my best.
Stand by. I'll unseal the door.
Narrow the operational wavelength, 0.37 angstroms. And learn the model again.
Affirmative. Stand by.
Dr. Harlan.
Ah, you're here.
Surprisingly, yes.
Well, you've been nothing if not surprising.
Where are we on the cure?
I was right. The data your android retrieved from the past was precisely what we needed to complete the gene sequence. We're running one more test to be sure. But I think we may have a solution.
That was fast.
From where I'm sitting, it's about 4 centuries overdue.
I would think by now we can all agree time is a relative construct.
What's that?
New parameters are set. We're ready to run the next test.
Do it. Give me real-time status of the test. This is it.
Treatment successful.
It worked.
It worked.
Just like that?
It's right there on the monitor. Zero metabolic activity. We did it.
Congratulations, Doctor.
We should refrain from celebrating just yet. We still need to determine how the treatment affects human subjects.
You really think there's that big of a risk?
It's possible. We can't know for certain until we conduct a proper test.
Apollo's right. We need to run a human trial. Juno, prep the biobed. I'll feed you the parameters.
Affirmative, Doctor.
What do you think you're doing?
Taking my medicine.
What about Olivia?
Once we're certain the cure works and is safe, then we will administer it to the captain.
In what reality does it make any sense for you to go first?
This isn't a discussion. I have to be the one. Chasing down this cure has been my life's work.
Right. And if something goes wrong, we're going to need your brain to fix it.
Captain Rhodes is right, Doctor. If you die, no one here would be able to carry on your work.
It's got to be me.
I agree. Liv is the more rational choice. However, under the circumstances, I find myself compelled to ignore rationality.
It's okay, Jack. This is the right call.
Juno, retract the emitter array.
Tell me how this is going to work?
We expose the biomass in your system to a low-level energy pulse of a very specific wavelength. Absorbing this energy will effectively terminate the biomass's metabolic processes, causing it to wither and die.
Think of it like a self-destruct command embedded in the biomass's base DNA.
Whoever designed it knew what they were creating and wanted a way to stop it if it ever got out of control.
Is this going to hurt?
If I said yes, would it change your mind?
Okay. Let's do it.
I want to take a moment to triple-check the math before we begin.
Whatever you have to do.
I'll let you know when we are ready. Juno?
Yes, of course.
Jack? Come here. It's okay. Come here. Give me your hand. It's all right. Give me your hand.
Captain Rhodes? We're ready if you are.
I'm good. Let's go.
Confirmed. Initiating counterpulse emission now.
Oh,
Liv,
it's all right. I'm okay.
Vital signs are stable. Metabolic pathways in the infected cells are failing.
It's working.
Oh,
Cellular saturation in 10 seconds.
are you sure you're all right?
yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
5 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
That's it. Shut it down.
Liv, are you all right?
I'll say one thing. I'm never going to complain about those fabricators again. Well, what's the story? Did it work?
Go ahead. Tell her.
Infection cleared.
Oh my god.
All traces of the biomass forms have been neutralized.
Apollo, is it acceptable to celebrate now?
It certainly appears so, yes.
Harlan, thank you.
Yes. Well, good then. So long as we are just floating here, do you mind if we keep walking? Now that we know the counterpass works, we should start working on better ways to administer it.
Harlan?
We'll need both focused and wide dispersion methods.
Dr. Harlan,
Let's draw up some schematics and feed them to the fabricators.
I already have a number of ideas that I think could
Dr.
serve.
Harlan?
What?
The treatment, Harlan? You still have to undergo the procedure.
Right. Yes, of course.
Juno, can you prep the bed for another dispersion?
it's already done.
Very well.
Would you like Jack to hold your hand as well?
Start the procedure.
Very well. Stand by.
Harlan, are you alright? Juno,
Vitals nominal. Blood pressure slightly elevated, but still within acceptable limits. Heart rate 103 and rising.
Harlan,
Keep going.
Blood pressure spiking.
10 seconds to cellular saturation.
something's wrong.
5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Shutdown.
Vital stabilizing.
Well, I've had worse experiences. Though at the moment I can't really think of any.
Harlan?
What?
Captain Rhodes?
What is it? What's wrong?
It didn't work. The biomass survived the treatment.
Harlan?
Juno, get me out of here.
I'll reset the biobed. We can try again.
No,
Perhaps the metrics were somehow altered between the two tests.
Juno.
Or maybe some cases simply require more than one cycle before clearing.
Juno, stop.
This isn't right. The treatment should have cleared both of us.
Apollo,
Yes, Doctor?
the biomass sample we were testing earlier, where was it from?
That particular sample was extracted from the wreckage of the Estrella.
So it was the more primitive strain.
That is correct.
I need a specimen from this time period. Something off the station.
I believe there is a sample from the research facility already seated in the cradle.
Rotate the sample into position.
Affirmative.
Alright, run the test again. Same parameters as before.
Understood. Ready to execute.
Do it.
It's working. The sample is withering.
Wait.
Treatment. Ineffective.
Yeah, you don't say.
Apollo, analysis.
I'm still parsing the data, but it would appear the treatment only managed to temporarily suspend the biomass's metabolic pathways, rather than terminate them.
The future strain's resisting the treatment.
Correct. The treatment eliminates the biomass from the past, but any form from this time period, it will only paralyze. Though at the moment, I can only speculate as to why this might be the case.
It's because it evolved. The biomass in the Astrea is still developing, still vulnerable. But the strain from this time period has been running rampant for 4 centuries. Nora was right. There really is no stopping it.
The biomass really evolves that quickly.
That's practically its defining characteristic.
Well, that and its tendency to indiscriminately devour everything it touches.
So that's it. We failed.
No. We didn't fail.
Harlan?
Does he want us to follow him?
I have no idea. But I'm going to. Harlan?
We didn't fail. We just learned something new. We learned there's a window, a certain point in time wherein the biomass was still vulnerable, when it could be stopped.
Yeah, that point's long past.
You're right. If only we had some way to travel back in time.
Transmitting Jack's protocols back in time won't help us here, Doctor.
It's also impossible without a working FTL.
For that plan to work, Jack would have to physically bring a counterpulse device back with him. Something he can't do digitally.
I'm not talking about digital time travel.
Oh, I see.
Where have I seen this before?
I believe that is one of the Estrella's FTL drives. I recall seeing a number of them while retrieving the fuel cell from the wreckage.
What do you think, Apollo? Could it work?
I'll need to run some models, but it's possible.
What the hell are you two on about?
I'll explain everything once Jack and I are on our way to the Estrella.
We'd best get moving.
Hold on! No one's going anywhere until one of you gives me something resembling an explanation.
Captain Rhodes.
No, if you want to send Jack back out to that plague-infested garbage scout, you have to at least give a reason.
But the longer we wait, the less chance we have to succeed. Captain, I know I already asked far too much of you both, but I have taken this as far as it can go. I need your help to finish it.
What do you need us to do?
Jack, you and I will make our way back to the Estrella's drive bay. You'll need my assistance to unlock the FTL housing. Captain Rhodes, if you would remain here with Dr. Harlan, there's some specialized equipment you'll need to fabricate and assemble.
Oh, brilliant.
Opening airlock.
Jack, good luck. Let us know when you've reached the Estrella.
Copy that.
Airlock cycling. Stand by.
Watch yourself over there, Jack. Don't let those ticks give you too much hassle.
I'm actually more concerned that I'll somehow damage the FTL and destroy the ship.
And now so am I.
No need for concern, Jack. I'll be there to supervise. I've never had an FTL overload on my watch.
Really only takes one, though, doesn't it? Just be careful, Jack. And before you ask, yes. That's an order.
Exiting portside airlock.
We need to make our way back to the Estrella, to the auxiliary drive bay.
All right, Apollo, you're on your way. I'm waiting for my explanation.
We all agree simply transmitting Jack's consciousness into the past won't work this time. However, if we were to appropriate one of the Estrella's remaining FTL drives, the Doctor and I believe we may be able to use it to return both you and Jack to the 22nd century.
You're saying we might be able to go home?
I'm reticent to make any assurances, but yes, I believe it is possible. Assuming at least one of the drives is still operational.
I thought you said we couldn't access the drives because of all the biomass.
That was before we had the counterpulse.
Well, that's great, but do you have some way for Jack to administer it?
Jack, make your way to the nearest fabricator. I have a new modification for your shell.
Understood.
I think there's 1 more hour left of this game.
The fabricator is just to the left of the bridge entrance.
Oh hell no. Oh.
Integration successful. Your new counterpulse device is ready to be equipped.
I recommend we run a field test before proceeding further. Those ticks feeding on the substation should make for suitable targets. Field
Holy
test
shit, that's
successful.
powerful.
It's a weapon.
Bill.
A focused counterpulse emitter, based on a design from my own timeline and calibrated to the same wavelength as the treatment we administered via the medical pod.
Cure gun. Nice.
Understand, this device will only eliminate the older, more primitive biomass. The more evolved forms from this time period will just be temporarily incapacitated.
Regardless, it should make short work of the biomass surrounding the Astraea's FTL drives. It's possible with more research data we could refine the treatment wavelength even further, making the device that much more efficient.
Which would allow the emitter to discharge more shots before overheating.
Certainly fixed you right up, didn't we?
We're ready to proceed to the drive bay. In the meantime, Captain Rhodes, I will need you to assemble a custom gantry to secure the FTL once it's in our possession. I've already fed the necessary specifications to the fabricators.
Good. I'm in the mood for a bit of work.
Come on.
Hey, Jack. Taking one last gander for old time's sake.
Oh,
I thought
wait.
it might be worth
Oh, wait.
making a final inspection of the bridge, just in case.
Well, couldn't hurt. Probably. Anyway, just don't forget we have a giant piece of high-powered tech that needs nabbing.
Acknowledged.
Oh, yeah,
I'll be
right,
back at
over
the
there.
drive bay before long.
Oh.
Moving out into the debris field now.
Just get that FTL and get back here quick as you can. No sense spending any more time over there.
Oh, shit.
Agreed.
Alright, let's assume this works. Let's say you two track down a working FTL. We get it hooked up and Apollo manages to recreate a physical time jump that, by some miracle, sends us back home to our own time. How exactly...
What
are we
the hell?
supposed to
What chance
eliminate
this is
the
a fucking
biomass
thing?
with that? I mean, it's not like we can just set off a bomb and blow it all to
Stop shutting
smithereens.
down! I need to fucking
That's
radiation to be fucking
exactly what you're
protection.
planning to do,
Assholes!
isn't it?
Well,
What? Stop loading!
not a bomb so much as a device that will unleash a sudden and forcible burst of energy across a widespread area.
So, a bomb.
Where is it? Where is
Yes,
it?
a bomb. But one that emits a counterpulse that should only be harmful to the biomass.
Ah, I'm dying!
I am a tactical AI. Most
Where
of
did
my
the protection
solutions
go?
tend to involve some form of explosion.
Uh-huh.
How will we make this device?
I mean,
I'm
I
dying.
could do it, but my hands are a bit tied at the moment.
I can easily repurpose existing equipment to construct a counterpulse, dispersion.
I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying.
Very well.
It's unusable.
Cure bomb. We will
Ho, ho, ho,
also
ho,
need
ho,
a means
ho,
of
ho, 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 ho,
transport,
ho.
ideally one that can regulate the catalyst's energy signature.
Oh, ho, 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 ho!
That capable of the
Piece of crap!
we need.
Stop killing me!
Excellent. I will transmit the details.
Wait a second.
Piece of crap! So
How is Jack's reboot ability supposed to work in the past without the fabricator network?
My design for our makeshift transport includes a single fabricator to accommodate Jack's reboot for the duration of our mission. Once we've detonated the catalyst and are out of danger, we can address reintegrating Jack's protocols into an Atlas network.
Assuming all this goes
stop
to plan.
dying already.
Well, yes. It would be rather difficult to operate on the opposite assumption.
I've reached the drive bay.
How's it looking there?
More or less how we expected.
That bad, is it?
Jack, the removal process will require access to several mechanisms throughout the driveway. Any live ticks in the area will undoubtedly make our job that much more difficult.
Understood. I'll clear them out.
Our aim is to locate a viable FTL drive. We need one that is suitably infected with biomass, but not to the extent that it is overrun.
The Goldilocks FTL.
An accurate, if somewhat antiquated metaphor. Once we find a suitable drive, we'll need to remove it from its housing and extract it via the corresponding service port. The removal process is no easy task, but I can walk you through the procedure.
All clear, Apollo.
Acknowledged. Now then, we should start by identifying any FTLs that are still extractable. Look for drives whose locking pins are largely clear of biomass at the upper and lower extremities.
Understood. I'll see if there's a drive that's clear enough to move.
Anyone able to cross their fingers, do it now.
Some biomass is present, but not enough to impede the locking pins. Now to inspect the opposite end. The locking pins on this end also appear to be free of any obstruction.
Confirmed. Cursory inspection verified. Internal biomass growth is also suitable for our needs.
Is that our winner?
It certainly appears so.
So we're good to go.
Nearly. The FTL will first need to be primed, which requires filling the drive with an ionized fluid and stimulating a hybrid voltaic reaction.
Is that as dodgy as it sounds?
Priming the drive is a fairly standard procedure. Moving a drive after it's been primed is most certainly not.
How do we start the procedure?
The drive controls are offline. You'll need to initiate the process manually. Look for an access panel on the side of the FTL drive.
Access panel located.
You'll have to cut your way in. Pull the lever inside and the drive will begin priming. Once the injection process is complete, I will funnel all remaining power in the drive bay to the FTL.
Drive priming initiated.
Injection complete. I will now attempt to create a sustained reaction by applying any remaining power. Stand by. Sustained reaction achieved. We're ready to remove the drive.
Outstanding.
What's next, Apollo?
The FTL drive is held in place by locking mechanisms at its upper and lower extremities. They must be manually released before the drive can be removed.
Got it. I'll release the locks.
The release mechanisms are housed within the drive moorings at both the top and bottom of the chamber. You'll need to cut your way in.
Understood.
Oh.
The drive's locking mechanism is inside this housing?
Correct. You'll need to cut through to open the cover.
I've gained access to the drive locking mechanisms.
The release control is located on the drive itself, between the locking pins.
Mida vittu? Stop cheating!
Upper locking mechanism released.
Good. Once you release the lower lock, the drive should come free.
Drive unlocked.
Excellent. I've repowered a nearby control panel so you can complete the removal procedure. The controls will allow you to position the drive so it can be easily removed via cargo drone.
Controls located.
To move the drive, simply grip the interface, then slide your hand toward the outer wall.
Moving FTL into position.
Stay on there, Jack. That's our ride home.
Once the drive reaches the outer wall, you can open the... Jack, be advised. Ticks inbound.
Ah, fuck!
Stand by. I'll deal with them.
Ah!
They must have been
Fuck
drawn out by
you!
the drive's substantial
Tirati,
energy
Nick,
signature.
piece of shit! Where they come from?
Tick threat neutralized.
Fuck off!
Resuming removal process at the control terminal.
Piece of
Once
fucking
the drive
shit!
reaches the outer wall, you can open the surface port to make the drive available for retrieval.
Where's the control panel?
It is in position. How do I open the service port?
Multi-operator release controls on either side of the hatch.
Okay, I'll move backwards again because I like to turn real life. What? Oh, wrong hand, eh?
Removal process complete. The FTL drive is ready to be extracted.
Good work, Jack. Drones are on their way.
Okay.
Copy
Thank
that.
you. Thanks.
Ready to depart with the cargo in T-minus 10 seconds. If you plan to accompany the
I am
drive,
holding
I
on.
suggest you take hold now. Departing in
I'm
3,
holding on, yeah.
2, 1. Thrusters engaged.
I'm exiting the drive bay.
Give the Estrella a wave as you go. Suppose this is the last we'll be seeing of her.
I'm afraid that's not entirely accurate.
What do you mean?
To ensure we eliminate all the biomass in the past, we will need to generate a counterpulse substantial enough to blanket the entire Kronos 2 orbital sector. To do so, we will have to venture into the remains of the Estrella that were left behind in 2126, and use the ship's primary drive exchange conduit to amplify the output of the Cure Bomb.
Kinda grows on you, doesn't it?
Not
Oh no, not the loading again. God damn it!
unlike a biomass infestation.
So, where am I in all this?
I will need you to accompany us into the wreckage. As acting captain of the Estrella, your authorization is required to access the primary drive bay.
Right. Well, I've nearly finished rigging up the gantry. Should be good to go by the time the drones turn up with the FTL. I'll see you back here shortly.
Acknowledged.
Jack. I should tell you. If our plan succeeds, it is unlikely you will be able to return to this timeline. If there are any outstanding tasks you'd like to finish, now might be the opportune time.
Understood.
Oh, the signal satellites. I guess, I suppose. But I believe any other playing through the story doesn't do that either.
Fine. Don't get cheeky with me. Alright, Doc. The gantry's rigged up. I think we're all set here.
Jack, I want to remind you again. Once we start this process, we are effectively locked in. Your shell will be exclusively paired to the fabricator on the rear of the transport rig. If you exceed its range, you will be forced to reboot. If you have any remaining tasks you'd like to address, this is your final opportunity.
Oh, I can't click.
Yes, I believe I could use a little more time. There's still more of the station I'd like to investigate.
Certainly. In the meantime, we will continue our preparations.
Just come let us know when you're all squared.